Last week, we talked about our position when it comes to God's perfect plan. So today, I want to talk about how prayer is essential in understanding God's perfect plan for our lives. And that's coming up next on Higher Learning. Our communication with the Father is a vital part of understanding His plan for our lives. And we primarily communicate to God the Father through our prayers. So if we are not praying to the Father and patiently waiting for His response, how do we know that we are going in the right direction? How many times have your prayers been generated because you found yourself in a precarious situation? Jonah refused to go to Nineveh. God needed him to fulfill his responsibility despite his feelings of the inhabitants there. God caused a storm to shake the boat. Jonah was thrown overboard onto an awaiting fish Uber, and it was there where he communicated to the Father these words: I cried out to the Lord in my trouble, and he answered me. I called to him from the land of the dead, and the Lord heard me. You threw me into the ocean's depth. I sank to the heart of the sea. The mighty waters engulfed me. I was buried beneath your wild and stormy waves. Then I said, Lord, you have driven me from your presence. Yet I will look once more towards your holy temple. I sank beneath the waves, and the waters closed over me. Seaweed wrapped itself around my head. I sank down to the very roots of the mountains. I was imprisoned in the earth, whose gates locked shut forever. But you, O my God, snatched me from the jaws of death. As my life was slipping away, I remembered the Lord, and my earnest prayer went out to you in your holy temple. Those who worship false gods turn their backs on all God's mercy. But I will offer sacrifice to you with songs of praise, and I will fulfill all my vows, for my salvation comes from the Lord alone. And then the Lord ordered the fish to spit Jonah out onto the beach. Through his prayer, he accepted the position. Sometimes God will place us in a position of prayer, causing us to cry out to him for forgiveness, for direction, or even correction. Our communication with the Father reminds us why we are doing what we do for him in the first place. We are his instruments, his tools. And though we may not always be in favor of the position or his plan, we know it is working for our good and for his glory. After the fish dropped him off at his destination, he went on to Nineveh to fulfill his purpose, and the people there repented. God's perfect plan for our lives must be understood as his perfect plan and not ours. And though God doesn't need us, it is an honor to be chosen by him. Because when it's all said and done, and as we stand before him, Paul reminds us that each one's work will become clear, for the day will declare it, because it will be revealed by fire, and the fire will test each one's work of what sort it is. If anyone's work which he has built on it endures, it will receive a reward. If anyone's work is burned, he will suffer loss, but he himself will be saved, yet so as through fire. I also believe part of God's perfect plan for us is to receive a reward. So pray to the Father that you can endure in the position to fulfill his perfect plan for your life. My brothers and sisters, be blessed.